Hey, 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 hey. Hey, everybody. We're live, 2 o'clock live. We're on and ready to see what we can see as our updates from the week. Right? We're going to see our updates from this week. I'm sitting in a different part of the classroom, as you can see. And if I do the camera like this, then we get that whole, the halo, halo. So I'll put it like this. Hey, Miss Deborah, how you doing? How are you today? Okay, let me see. I was trying to get what's his name open, trying to get what is this thing called? Thinkorswim open, and it is open. Y'all come on in, tell the people that we're here, that we are on live. 2 o'clock live. Let me check YouTube. I mean not YouTube, Facebook to make sure that we're good over there. Yep, looks like I'm there in today's video. In today's video, whoop, da, 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 da. Coolie high, coolie high, coolie high. Let's see what we got. Okay, so I was gonna have us review. Hey, Tamar, we're gonna look. First of all, we're gonna check out the trades that we looked at over the weekend. So if you were with me on Sunday night, we're gonna look at those. And then we're going to talk a little bit about some of the credit spreads that we have from the challenge. I'll even share mine for the week. I think I had I don't know if I have to look to see what was my last week. I ended up with getting to keep all of my stuff from INTC, from Intel. And this week I have CVX working right now. I have to look and see what actual strikes I have on CVX, because even though our graphic from the week showed CVX with one set, once the market opens on, on Monday morning, then you start looking a little bit different. You don't look those exact numbers. You want to confirm those numbers, right? We confirm those numbers once you get into at 141, 142. You confirm those numbers once you get on Monday morning, right? Those numbers may be fine, but you want to check and make sure that they're good. And then listen, if you got any questions, please be sure to put them in the comments and in the chat, so that way when I swing back around to them, I can see the questions. Okay, let's look at that. I'm going to present now. Let's go ahead and nope, I don't want that. Sorry, I always push that button. It's in the wrong place. We're going to share the screen. Entire screen. Yes, we are. And then let's look at the problem with this is I can't see any comments when I'm sharing the screen like this. I can't see any comments. I have to look someplace else, but I try to stay focused. This is the document, or this is the graphic that I put out on the weekends. It includes, some trade ideas, just ideas, right? The numbers, I look to see where are good support and resistance numbers. So these numbers should still be good numbers even after the market opens on Monday. Unless there's a huge gap up or down, these numbers may still be good. But at your job, your job as a trader, as a master trader, is to check to ensure that you agree. If you're doing call credit spreads, you want to make sure these numbers are beyond resistance. You got some resistance up here, resistance is above us. You want your strikes to be above that. If you're doing a put credit spread, you want your numbers to be below the support, right? If you're hanging out and you don't have a clue about credit spreads, but you want to know, then go over to either my YouTube channel and search around there, or you can go to educatortotrader.com, and then you can get a training that is step on credit spreads. Some people want to do it the YouTube way, where they can go and root around and find what they want. That's fine. But some people, me usually, wants to have it in it's kind of a systematic order, right? So I don't feel like I missed anything. And that way you get it from a training. But it's totally up to you which one of those ways you do it. All right. One is free, may take you a little more time. One costs you something, but it's going to speed up your knowledge base. right? That's kind of the way that goes. All right. Let's look to see what we did put in over the weekend. Which trades did we put in? I put in, and I used those same numbers, I believe. Coinbase wasn't on. Oh no, Coin wasn't on the list. Maybe I had that for something else. This is the ones. Some of these were ones that some of the people with the challenge wanted to do. We got Google. We went into Google Monday afternoon. I've opened several things along the way. Google was a call credit spread 136, 137. This call credit spread 136, 137, right? The trade price says here, I took in 132. No, no, no. On the paper, it says 136, 137, but it looks like here we went with 132, 133. Price is at 131.90, which is close to 132. This trade is still good. This trade is still good, but Google is breathing down the neck of this sale leg, and that matters, right? So that's important. This trade 136, 137. If we look at what was on the graphic, call credit spread 136, 137, that trade is really good at this point. That trade is fine, right? But 132, 133 is a little more closer than close, but it's still at this point, this trade is still good. We took in $23. And at this point, looks like it's worth, you look at the difference between these two numbers, looks like it's worth about $40. So it's a little bit in the red right now, but it's not, the trade ain't over until the December the 8th at 4 o'clock. Remember, when you're a seller, you need to just be below or above your sale leg strike at expiration. Letting this do its thing. But this is one that you'd want to watch because the price is hovering and knocking at the 132 door. Okay. The put credit spread one, 129, 130 is a put credit spread one. We took in what, $15 here, and it's currently worth, looks like about $10, $20 right now, right? It's like it's about that. And then this is 126, 127, because price is at 131. We've got, it's above 127 as far as Google. I'm going to show you here. I hope those of you who are looking at how to close these trades, if you're thinking about how do you close a trade, tune in, tune in, tune in. You select, I'm looking at Thinkorswim, but even if you're on your app, you just select both legs. I'm selecting the 126 put, and I'm selecting the 127 put. This is a trade that goes together, right? A sell leg and a buy leg. Once you have them both turn blue, you right click on your screen and it says create closing order. Create closing order. Select that, and this basically shows that for the spread, it's green, so it means you're gonna buy it back for $3, and you can change this amount. You're buying it for $3. You can change this to $1. You can't change it to nothing because you can't buy it for $0. You have to buy it at least for $1, right? You buy it for $1, or if you want to close it right away, you can. I'm stopping right here because I want to show you something about what's a percentage or whatever for these trades. So the trade price is what you received when the difference between these two. So 39 minus 26 is $13, right? So you received $13. Right now, the trade is worth $3, 9.095 minus 0.065. That's $3. So we received $13 when we entered the trade. To get out of it, we have to buy ourselves out with $3. Shows here that the trade is about 75%. It's in 75% profit, right? So you took in $13. You're going to close it for 3 or 2 or 1. It's really up to you. I'm going to click on this again. Click on the other leg of that spread, right click, select create closing order, pick what you want. If you want to change this in the box, you can change it. I'm going to put it at $2. $1 was fine, $2, $1, $3. If you just want to close it where it is, that's fine too. And then I usually change this to good till cancel. So if it doesn't close today, then it's still sitting in my working folder and it will work until it's ready, right? So I'm leaving it as $3, which is what we're going to pay to exit it. We took in 13, we're paying 3, which means we're going to keep $10 out of the 127. I'm going to change it to 127, 126. Once this is received and closed, the broker will basically release your buying power. You had $100 of collateral that was reserved for this trade while it was on. Once this order to close it is filled, see here, once this order is filled, the broker is going to release your buying power back to you to use it on something else. Okay, that's how that goes. Let's go look at Palantir. Palantir, we had 19.5, 18.5 put, and Palantir had 18.19. That has definitely breached completely. It's a complete breach, if you want to call it that. It is through both of these strikes. So this would be, if left to its own devices, it's going to be a max loss. Even now, because we're so far below the 18.5, you take the difference between these two, 203 minus 1.08 is about $95. We took in 40 something dollars, $42. And if we close it now, we're closing it now for the loss of the 100. So 100 minus the 42 means you're at a loss of about $50, right? You got a loss of about $58 is your loss. You've got two options here. You can close it where it is. You can close it, be done with it. Yes, you got three options. Close it. You can leave it to expire on its own because it will expire at the end. It still will be no more. This trade is worth no more than the spread. So you don't have to worry that if it keeps running, it's going to keep costing me money. No, no, no. It's not worth any more than the $100 between the spread. Or you can roll it. And I'm not going to teach on rolling in here, but rolling really should happen if the price was maybe between these two, because you really want to roll for a credit, not roll for a debit, because rolling is just closing one trade and opening another one. And there may be there may be a video on my YouTube channel about rolling. I'm not sure. I have to check into that. Let me write myself a little note, because that's a topic that I probably should create a video about, is about rolling. Rolling. I need to do a video about that so people will understand when should you roll, when should you not roll, and how do you roll? How do you roll? So I'm a fan. Palantir, I mean, let's just leave it. If I was in my live account, this is my paper account. If I was in my live account, I probably would leave it. If it's already at max loss, I probably would leave it until Friday during the day. Most likely, I would still close it manually. That way, it's not just sitting at the end of Friday at 4 something, waiting for the broker to do whatever. I would close it manually, knowing it's just going to close for the max loss. That's how I would do it. But still, let's just leave it. Let's just leave it for now. Because there's no, and once it's at max loss or close to max loss, it's kind of no reason to close it, except for, to save a few days of just looking at it. Really, there's no real benefit. But I'm going to go ahead and show what it looks like. You pick both legs and then create closing order. At this point, you're going to close it for $95. Remember, we took in 40 something dollars. So the difference between those two is going to be like a $50 loss. Okay. If you close it now, if price recovers in the next 2 days, which, it could, you just never know. You always want to check the chart and see what it's doing. It could recover and go back up. But you're going to pay, if you close it, you're going to pay the $94, $95 out of your buying power. You're going to pay to close it, because we buy to close. We buy to close, right? I'm going to leave it like it is for now. Let me see if we've got any comments or whatever in the chat. Tanya said she had that problem today. Yeah, we can't leave it as a zero. We have to put something in the dollar sign. When I changed it to $2, it finally went through. Yay, Tanya, you got your first one done. Woohoo! You made some money off USO this week. Love it, love it. On Robinhood, you can roll only if you have a margin account, not a cash account. It's very necessary to know how to roll. Yeah, I agree. It's necessary. And you need to be able to roll and know how, because there's a little bit, of stuff to it. There you go. 18% off 18% return of your $100. Yes. Give it up for Tanya. Snap, snap, snap it up. Tanya, woo, 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 woo. Good job, girly. Good job for your first week in the credit spreads challenge. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Which other ones were we going to look at? Go back to sharing my screen. And then I'm going to do share the screen again. And let's go back to here. What else do we have in our monitor screen? We talked about Palantir. We're going to leave that one for now. SPY. I think Miss Deborah might have mentioned SPY during her credit spread challenge. And then we've got S triple Q 1516 put, which means it above 16. S triple Q was 1415 on the graphic. 1415 would definitely be in good shape. 1516, it's a little bit closer. So at this point that we took in $14 and it is currently worth $12. Look under trade price is what you received. Mark is what it's currently worth. Okay, trade price is what you received at the beginning of the trade. Mark is what it's currently worth. Make sure you take the difference between these two numbers. 13 minus 1 is 12, which is what it's worth now. 17 minus 3 is 14, which was what we received at the beginning. So this trade hasn't matured enough yet for us to do anything. It is still a good trade. As long as the price is above 16, then you're in good shape. T triple Q. Looks like T triple Q had a couple of different things. I think this is the one we used on based on the Peakbot from the other day. We looked at some Peakbot trades, Peakbot automated trading. That's what we have here for that. And for the 41.543, we took in, looks like 51 cent, and it's worth about that now. It's about that because we want this to be above 43, and it's barely above. But this put here, the 39.541, we took in 20 or 19 cent, I think here, and it's worth 10 cent. So this one, 33 minus 14 is $19, right? And 13 minus 3 is 10. So we took in almost $20 and now it's ready to close. I'm going to click on both of these and then right click to close it just so we can see we can put in our close order. What says it's worth $3? What kind of math am I doing? No, that don't seem right. Something not right about that. Let's see. 39.5 and 41. Nope, that's what's wrong there. One of these goes with this. 39.5 goes with this one here. We need one buy and one sell. There we go. 39.5 and 41.5. Those go together. So then we can right click and it showed $18 is what it's worth. We're not ready to wait. Let me go back because now I need to see what it was that we received. We received $36 for these two. These two here, we received $36, and now it's worth 19. So now it's about worth 50% of what it is. 50, 60, 70% is always a good closing place. Change our 19 to 15. If we took in 36 and we close it for 15, that means we're keeping $20. Yes, we can take this down lower, 10. You take it to whatever you want to take it to. The only thing that changes in the midst of that is time. And price needs to move. Price needs to move up for T triple Q if we want to get more off of that. Okay. Let's look at the CVX trade. CVX was the one that I traded for the credit spreads challenge. I did 141, 142. 141, 142 is what I did it for. And let me see how much I received for Monties. How much did I receive for Mondays? Looks like I received $16. I received $16 for CVX. CVX is the Chevron, 141, 142. And if I look to see what is that currently worth right now, 141, 142 on the put side, looks like it's currently worth, it says $22. So my trade, even though the price is $1.50 above it, 141, 142, it shows here that it's worth $24. I took in 16, it's worth 24, which means I've got to wait till these numbers flip over until I'm in the profit. At this point though, the trade would show red because it says that I took in 16, but now it's worth 24. That means it's worth more than what I took in. But the price is still above my strike price. My strike price is 142, and CVX is at 143 and some change. So my trade is still good. My trade is still good. You got to count the fees. Yes, ma'am. Hey, Raymond, how you doing? How you doing? Okay. We had a few different trades. Did anybody take a trade off of that graphic? I was thinking if we wanted to look at, I think Siri was on there too. Siri is breathing down. Oh, I got to share my screen again. Siri's breathing down the neck. I'm gonna have to go soon. Not soon. I just think soon I am, because I need to go do an errand for my father. But let's do. I'm gonna look at Siri. Series at 4.5 was the cash secure put, or 4.5. It would be here. It's worth $7. But see, right now, series right at the 4.5 mark. It's inching down. Today's Wednesday. I think the premiums are up a little bit today. Has anybody else noticed that the premiums seem to be up a little bit today? I think it's because of the volatility and the things that are going on in the market. Let's go see what the VIX is. Because when the VIX is up, the volatility is higher. 12.78 really isn't that much. When the VIX is up, we get higher premiums. The premiums seem like they may have changed over the course of the day. Volatility index is the VIX, and when the VIX is a little higher, and it's not really doing anything at this point. It's just kind of sitting still. It was 12 in pre-market. It was 12, and it's just sitting here not really doing anything today. This is the VIX today, just kind of sitting at the same spot, not doing a lot, right? Okay. Any credit spreads challenge questions? If not, I'm going to move us to looking at XSP for a potential daily trade. Let me see what the chart has looked like today on XSP and SPX. Now, this is the thing for those of us who are learning our credit spreads. Credit spreads is something we've been doing for on the weekly. We're looking for the week's expiration. But when you're ready, you can start looking at XSP for daily credit spreads and pull in daily profits. But it requires a little bit more skill and management, because you're entering today and expiring today. So you don't have a lot of time to make any adjustments. Once you pick a strike or pick your trade, you pretty much got to have a decent idea of where it's not going to go for today. Because for credit spreads, we want to be beyond the places it's already been. Looks like so far current price is at 456, but the high of the day has been 459, and the low of the day has been 455. 459 and 455. Where did I get those from? If you can look, it's hard for me to put, but right up here in these numbers here, up in here, the H low, high low, open close. Once I put the mouse on this candle, it tells you the open at 458.62, the high 459, the low 455.91, which is more like 456. That's the high and the low for today. You can look to see today and see about, can we do a trade that's outside of the high and the low? Y'all know we've looked before at our probability out of the money. Let's look at the bottom part, 455, 456. That's 64% probability out of the money. That's a little closer than we want to be, because the price is at 456.30. That's real close. That's 30 cents. We got about an hour and a half of SPX, and it's been going down all day. Notice this chart shows is a red candle. So to be underneath here in the put credit spread side may be a little too dangerous. But so let's go look at the call credit spread side. 459 is the highest it's been today, but there's, it's gone from there. It's 2 and some change away. Looking at probability out of the money, 457 is a 75% probability out of the money. 0.26 delta. So let's look at that. Let's see what 457, 458 has to offer us today. 457 now is only 50 cents away from current price. Okay, this is why if you're going to work XSP, you may want to do it closer to noon, 1 o'clock, because the premiums may dry up a bit. But I'm going to look at 457, 458, just because based almost solely on the probability out of the money, because it's 50 cents away. This could be a dangerous one. But again, I'm in my sim, but I want to be able to show you what I look for. All right. And underneath 456 was a 64% probability out of the money. That was okay. Go back here. The 456 strike price is 68%, 67%. That's a little close. Some people don't like to be less than 70. It can be a little, it's a little scary. 93 though is 454, 455, and there probably is no money there. 454, 55. See, there's only $1. There's no reason to get into that trade for $1 because you're gonna pay $1 in fees. Period. Right? 456, 455, 56. I'm selecting it, but that means we need price. That means we're wanting price to close between 456 and 457. That could be a little risky because we still got an hour and a half to go. Okay, but let's go look at SPX. If you're looking at SPX, you got a little more wiggle room, right? You got a little more wiggle room. Let's look at the chart here for SPX. Now, the difference between SPX is that it's a 5 spread, which means $500 of collateral is going to be required. And if you're just starting off with credit spreads, don't start fooling up with SPX. This ain't the place to start. Okay, SPX is the place you get to after you've gotten really good with credit spreads, really comfortable with credit spreads. Then you maybe inching the SPX a little bit. But SPX is not to be trifled with until you're ready, right? You can trade it, but you want to be ready because it can provide good returns, but it can also, he giveth and he taketh away. SPX is like it giveth and it taketh away. All right. So be ready. Our high and low 45.90 and 45.59 or 45.55 would be the strike we'd look at. 45.55 and 45.90. Let's go look at our singles. 45.55 is an 82% return or 80% probability out of the money, not return. 45.55, we'll look at that. And we said 45.60 would have been, was it 45.60? That was, no, 45.90 was the top number. We're a little far away from there. But again, you might not want to do the put credit spread side because price has been going down today. Price has already been going down. So 45, 50, 55, there is money down here. If you want 45, 50, 55, you're going to collect $50, which is a 10% return on this. But 10%, that means you're going to collect 50, but you're leveraging 450, right? If the price drops below 45.50, then that's going to be max loss by the end of the day. And like I said, you got an hour and a half. So you want to make sure that you're very strategic if you're going to use SPX. And then the 45.90, there's no premiums up here. You'd have to get a little closer. I think we looked at 457. So let's go to single and see what we see for a probability out of the money. 45.70 has a 79 or 80% out of the money. You can even go to 75. Turn on vertical. 45.70 is paying $60 and 45.75 is paying $15. Okay. Okay, 45.70, 75. At least we're above current price. It's about 7 points away from current price because 45.63 is current price. Okay, and if we were going below 45.55, collect $35. So in this case, you would collect $70 on one side, $35 on the other. So you're going to collect over $100 leveraging the 500. You're not going to have to double up on the collateral. collect $110 and leverage the other 390, right? But you need to make sure that you're comfortable with those zones. All right, you got to be comfortable with those zones. Tamar said, I took SoFi from the graphic shared in Telegram. Okay. Did you how did it go as far as premiums? Did you get in? Are you in the trade? Are you ready to close it? What's the status? What's your status on SoFi? I don't know. Did the graphic was SoFi on that graphic? Is SoFi on here? Where'd you find SoFi from? This week's graphic or last week? This is this week's graphic. I may need to put like something at the top of here so I can I put it down here at the bottom. This is December 4th through 8 is where I'm not sharing my screen. I'm just talking and y'all are like, I don't know what you're talking about because I can't see your screen. Can't see your screen. Yeah, need to be able to see your screen. There we go. I put down here at the bottom December 4th through 8 so that we know which week we're working with. But I don't know if SoFi was on this one. That doesn't mean you couldn't trade SoFi though, because of course I'm a big fan of SoFi, but it doesn't do really well for credit spreads because it doesn't really give good premiums. We want better premiums. Give us better premiums. It doesn't give good premiums. So stop share. Stop share. Stop. I don't even see the screen that says stop share. Oh, I didn't pick it. I needed to pick that. Right, here we go. Try again. This is the one for this week. Down here at the bottom, I talk about December 4th through 8th. This is the dates. SoFi's not on this one. Maybe that was last week's. Okay. I may need to start moving the date thing to a higher place so we can see which ones we're talking about, which trades or which weeks we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Last week graphic. Okay, locked SoFi PCS 77 in at 10 times. Oh, good job. Good job. Because if that's a 50-cent spread and you collected $10, that's a 20% return on your monies. When is the next what? Oh, the charting class. Oh, thanks for bringing it up. You can actually go right now to start with the chart.com and watch it. It's not the workshop. It's not the exact same thing as the workshop. Okay. It is a free webinar that does talk about some charting things. The workshop was way more in depth than that. If you'd like to do or like to have access to the video of the workshop, oh, what was the link to that? I gotta think about what was the link to it. Let me share my screen again, then we can go look at it on my website. Educator to trader. We can go look right at it. But you can still have access to the workshop, the videos from the workshop, and I gave you a reduced cost because you weren't there. If you are not there live, but you still want to have access to it, I gave a little bit of a discount if you still want to do it. Okay, we're going to allow this time, and then we're going to go to educator to trader.com. .com and here it is, how to read stock market charts. This was the workshop. If we go to this link, let me click it and then I can grab it from here and put it into our discussion today. If you'd like to have access to it, you can. If I say so myself, it was quite valuable. Again, if I do say so myself, it was quite valuable. You can go and grab it right there, Mr. Raymond. All right. Anybody got any more questions? Any more questions? Okay. Always, you're very welcome. We want to stay green and get this money. If you're looking for trainings, you can find them either at my website, which was educatortotrader.com, or you can, look on my YouTube channel and kind of root around there. There's almost 400 videos on my YouTube channel, but you can do it if you do a search by topic, you'll be able to find what you're looking for. All the things we discussed, I do have a training on them, which is very straightforward. I try to keep things priced at a reasonable place. Um, so I'm not, not trying to break anybody's back, trying to get a few dollars, but I also know, but on the other hand, I do know that you can take a training of mine, and let's say if it costs $97, I have a couple of them. You can make your $97 back within a trade or two trades, especially after you have the knowledge you can work with. You say repeat, you paid $97 for something and you make hundreds, thousands on it. That's how that goes. All righty. Be sure to like and subscribe, subscribe to the channel, to hang out with us. Tell your friends. Our Alyssa's over here doing seller stuff. She comes on a couple times a week. Um, and we will be back. I'm thinking Friday. I kind of got some plans on Friday, but good job, Tanya. I have to come and do final exams on Friday. I've had a whole bunch of ponderings to do with students who are in college and working on passing their math class. Always an interesting bunch. Won't tell any stories right now, but it's an interesting bunch. All righty. I'm going to see you all later. If you're looking for me in all the places. Educator to Trader, all over the internet is where I am. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, then come find me, Educator to Trader, in the Facebook group, and ask to be let in, and I'll let you in. You can always email me, arlissa@educatortotrader.com. If you're looking for a one-on-one and you got most of you need some gaps filled in, then go ahead and check my website. There's a place on there for you to sign up for one-on-one talking. All right. All righty. All righty. So we'll talk later. I'm going to say, I bid you a fond farewell. I bid you adieu. Stay green and get this money. And I'll see you all in the market. All righty. Bye, everyone. You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody.